Okay, so we're going to talk about gear. I had a little back and forth with a viewer about gear, and he came out with the same old mantra, the gear doesn't matter. And I'm sorry, I don't say go out and buy the most expensive gear you can buy, mortgage your house and buy stuff you don't need. But my point is that there are certain tasks that you need gear, certain gear to do. For example, I'm shooting this video. This is a two-camera shoot, and I'm shooting in 4K. And the light is relatively low here. So you need a decent camera. Now, these are the Sony FX100M4 and the Panasonic FZ1000. And the Panasonic is the wide shot of the two, and sometimes the focus hunts a little bit on it. It'll lock in on my face, but it'll hunt. The Sony is pretty good about not hunting. So these are both, well, the Sony's about 1,000, and now you can buy the FZ1000 for as low as 600 or 700. They're similarly priced cameras, both shooting 4K video, and that's a situation where the Sony might have a little bit of an edge. Now the Sony does not have a mic input, so I can't plug this mic into the Sony. Now I've demonstrated on my channel how you can use your iPhone as a wireless mic and then sync the audio in post, so that's a workaround for that. But the short answer is the gear does matter. Gear has certain things it can do. Certain cameras have advantages and some have disadvantages. I shot a nighttime rodeo where you weren't allowed to use flash, and it was poor lighting, so it was relatively low light, and I had to shoot at a pretty high shutter speed to freeze the action with my Nikon D700. So I used the 70-200 f2.8 lens, and I shot up to ISO 6400, and I got some usable shots at ISO 6400. Now, if that were a lower line Nikon camera with a kit lens, I wouldn't have been able to get those shots, period. It wouldn't have held up at that high ISO, and a kit lens wouldn't have gone to f2.8 with that kind of zoom range, and so I wouldn't have been able to get the shutter speed up high enough. I wouldn't have been able to get the shots. So for these so-called experts to tell people new to photography that the gear doesn't matter is very disingenuous. Most of them have good gear. It's easy to say the gear doesn't matter when you've already got good gear. I'm here to say the gear absolutely does matter, and I do have a lot of gear reviews. I have a lot of tips and tricks of how to get the most out of your gear and how to buy less expensive gear and get decent performance out of it. So I'm not all about spending a ton of money, especially on 4K video gear, because that's moving, that situation is moving so fast. There's so many new cameras coming out and all that. You hate to spend a whole lot of money on a high-end camera now and have it be totally obsolete in 6 months. So that's why I'm using these two consumer-grade cameras right now. But the gear does matter, and you should pay attention to the gear, and you should make wise choices when you purchase the gear, and make sure you get something that'll do the job that you need to have done. Hey, thanks for watching my channel, and please subscribe.